Buenas tardes. Bueno, como ya saben, vamos a esperar un par de minutos más para que se conecten sus compañeros y empezamos la práctica de lectura. Voy a mandar los textos a los grupos de WhatsApp. All right, so I already sent the reading that we're going to be working on today to the group chats. So if you can download it, I'm going to send it to this chat as well. So we're going to be working with that one today. All right, so welcome everybody. If you could please turn on your cameras so we can begin today's session. All right, Flavia, Andres, David, please, if you could turn on your cameras so we can begin today's session.
Ya, pero qué.
All right, David, Andres, your cameras and we'll begin.
Hello, teacher. Do you hear me by any chance?
Yep, I can hear you. Yep.
Sorry. Good evening. My brother and I won't be able to turn on our cameras because we're not. Right now, we are in a situation, and so we don't have like a lot of Wi-Fi.
Okay, just for today then.
Yeah, sorry about that. Tomorrow will
Tuesday.
be okay. I mean on Monday. I mean on Tuesday. Sorry.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, no, all good. All right, so we had 3 questions left from Tuesday's questionnaire, right? Yeah, so we had question 8, 9, and 10. All right, so I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to need 3 volunteers. to help me with this questions that we had left, so we can begin with a new practice for today. Right, so question number 8 says, according to paragraph 6, which of the following is true in regards to modern Navajo pottery and their traditional ways of life? So this question is a reference question. So who can give me the answer? Camille.
Teacher, good evening. I think it's letter D.
D?
D.
Okay, D.
Yes.
D as in finger. Okay. Due to tourism, modern Navajo pottery doesn't accurately reflect the Navajo's traditional ways of life. Doesn't necessarily. They mentioned that because of tourism, they're starting to use new colors, but it doesn't really say it's a big stretch. That's not it. Increasing interest in the Navajo's traditional ways of life started due to changes in the pottery designs. Not really. They don't mention anything in the text. The traditional way of creating Navajo pottery is threatened by increasing tourism to the Navajo's lands. No, because it's actually the opposite. They're attracting more people. So yeah, Camille is right. Option D is our correct answer, because basically an increasing interest in this pottery and the traditional ways of life is basically are basically correlated. So yeah, it's a good answer. Thank you, Camille. All right, sweet. So we have question 9. Just look at the four squares that indicate what the following sentence could be added in the passage. And who wants to give me the answer for this? We have a volunteer. All right, perhaps Gloria, perhaps? Were you here on Tuesday?
Yeah, for number 9 is, I think that is D.
Which one? Sorry, I cannot hear it too well.
D.
D? D
Yeah.
or B?
D.
Okay, D. Let's look at it. So it says increased international appreciation of these ways has attracted significant attention to the world of the Navajo on the global stage. Okay, so it talks about international appreciation. So let's go to the paragraph where we have this. And the growing interest in Navajo pottery promises to further increase awareness of the Navajo and their unique way of life. So yeah, it sounds like it could fit in here, but this is actually a really good concluding sentence, because it's basically what conclusion sentences do is just basically close the idea. So this one is closing the idea quite well. But perhaps I think a better option for this answer would be sorry, just give me a second, please. I'm so sorry about that. I had just a quick emergency call. So yeah, so what I was saying basically is that actually option A could be a better fit for this answer. Why? Because if we actually paste it, sorry, what am I talking about? If you actually paste it there, it makes quite a lot of sense. And you have to check the context, because here it mentions that the Navajo have worked to maintain a connection to ancestral life, and foremost among their proud cultural tradition is their attention to the art of pottery, right? If we paste it here, it just connects to this idea. Increased international appreciation of these ways has attracted significant attention to the world of the Navajo on the global stage. And then it connects to the next one. It says it is now not uncommon for tourists from throughout the world to visit the Navajo's Island. So here actually makes a good connection between the first idea, basically the attention to the art of pottery, and the fact that people are now, it's not uncommon to see them in this scenario. So it connects both ideas better. It works well with the flow of information. And yeah, but the was a good option, but you have to be really careful that in this case, this one is closing the idea. So this one is more of a connector. Okay. Thank you, Gloria. All right, and I need a volunteer for the last question. No, it's actually answer A. For question 10. Perhaps Rodrigo.
Yes, teacher, I'm not sure. I'm between letter B and letter E.
All right, so remember for this one that we have 6 different options and we have to choose 3, right? So
Yeah.
3 of them go to the summary and 3 of them are just details, for example. So which ones would you choose?
D, E, and D.
Okay, good. Actually, the first 2 guesses were correct, because the first one, B, the Navajo believe that pottery conveys important symbolic lessons. It's basically what the first paragraph is about, right? So it's a main topic of the lecture, right? And option E is the 3 main types of Navajo pottery are pinch, coil, and slab pots. They also dedicate a full paragraph to this, so it's a main point. But the thing you said D, right? Also, the methods by which they are created are unique. Pinch pots and coil pots are often visually similar. That's a detail. That's a detail within this paragraph. So you have to be careful. It's true, it's mentioned in the text, but it's just a detail. It's not a main idea. Actually, the one that belongs in this answer is letter F, because interest in the Navajo has grown in part due to the fact that pottery has become more internationally well known. So as we read, the last paragraph was dedicated to this idea. So these are the 3 main ideas of the text. The rest of them, the Navajo have resisted attempts to modernize. They don't actually mention this. So this is not true. And Navajo pottery is typically uniform and without unique designs, symbolizing balance and simplicity in life, which is not mentioned either. So yeah, it was a really good guess. You managed to get 2 out of 3, which is perfect. It was a really good guess. Thank you very much, Rodrigo. And yeah, with this we're finishing this basically this first attempt to a reading section. It was an interesting experience. So before we begin or last attempt, for which I'm going to give you 20 minutes to read the whole thing that I sent you and just do all the answers. In this case, we're not stopping at 5. We're doing all 10 of them. So we're going to be simulating basically how much time you have allocated for a certain reading on a real life scenario, right? So then I'm going to need people who haven't participated yet to give me their answers. So before we begin, I just want to ask you, what are your opinions? What are your impressions of this first reading practice that we have? Which things, if you have any doubts or if you have any concerns or any questions regarding the way we solve it? Or any comments, perhaps? Nothing? All right. Cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen to the timer. And we're going to start with the practice. So I'm with the reading passage. And if you have any questions or comments, just let me know. Just raise your hand or just ask. Okay. See you in 20 minutes. Sorry, I had some problems with my internet connection. Just should it still, but I'm going to share the screen again. Right, Jasmine, I think you just joined us. So what we're doing is we're going through the reading I sent to the group chat and on the chat box on this call. So we have like little over 50 minutes to finish all 10 questions. So yeah, if you could get onto it, and if you have any doubts, just let me know, okay?
Okay, teacher, thanks.
All right. So we're halfway there. You should be like at least half, if not like 75% done. So if you have any doubts, please let me know. Right, 5 more minutes. Flavia, your camera, please. Right, how's everybody doing? Is everybody finished? Is there anyone still working? All right, so we have 1 more minute left, and while that minute still goes, I'm just basically going to tell you how we're going to be working now. So, how many people do we have here? We have 11 people. So I think Shadia wrote to me saying that she cannot speak today, right? Okay, so everyone but Shadia is going to give me an answer. So it's up to you which one you want to give. So basically, how we did the previous one is you gave me a guess, I gave you the correct answer, and I explained to you my thought process. So now we're going to revert the roles. I'm going to just basically ask the question. Someone's going to give me an answer, and they're going to explain me their thought process, how they came up with that answer. Okay. So time's up. Is everyone done? All right, cool. Everyone's finished, right? So I'm going to be sharing screen. So these are the 10 questions that we have on this passage. So who wants to do number 1? Remember, every one of you except for Shadia is going to give me one answer. So you all are going to practice. So who wants to begin? Hi, Camilo.
Okay, teacher, I think is the letter B because of it happens after the World War II, after the 1960s.
Okay. Yeah, you just mentioned a really critical element that it says that they began writing them after World War II, and World War II finished in the 40s, I think. So with that with that argument, you basically are making this one not true, because it says that they were not written before 1960s, and in the passage it says that they started writing them around the 40s, around World War II. So do you want another guess?
No, I just have that one.
Okay. All right, Flavia, you're going to do question number 2. So actually, the correct answer for this question is option A, because it mentions that they young adult literature basically is a departure from the topics that they touch on children's literature. So that was the correct answer. So be careful with that detail, because they actually mentioned, if we go back to the first paragraph, they mentioned here that they were not common until the 1960s, but it began after World War II. So it gives you like a 20-year period in which they already wrote them, but it wasn't too popular. Okay. Thank you, Camila. Flavia, okay, question number 2. What's your answer?
I think it's the option A because the song it's about like I don't know, like young adult literature is a distinct type of reading.
Can't hear it well. I'm not sure if it's my internet or what. I'm going to be switching networks. Just give me a second. I don't know what's going on. All right. Hopefully this one is better. So sorry, Flavia. What was your answer and your reason? Couldn't hear it too well.
I think I have a poor connection, but I say that the option A because young adult literature is like more about like a different type of lecture or reading.
Okay. But actually, if we go back to this part, love song, it's in paragraph 1, right? So it says here, love song, T.S. Eliot poem, Do I Dare Disturb the Universe? So basically, it's referring to this question that Alfred Prufrock makes in his work. Do I dare disturb the universe? So in this case, you have to take into account this context as well, because here it says, posits that young adult literature ultimately reflects the struggle of adolescents to answer the question raised, which is, do I dare disturb the universe? Basically, so it's talking about disturbance. So the correct answer is actually option B, because basically it's setting up the fundamental topics that are basically discussed in young adult literature. Okay, so here you have to be careful with this answer, because it says to refute. Refute means basically to disprove, to be against this. So that's why this question wasn't correct, because they mentioned that it is a distinct genre. So if you refute it, basically you're saying that it's not true. So you have to be really, really careful with this kind of questions. Okay. Thank you, Flavia. All right, who wants to do number 3? Daniela.
It's letter D, because in the sentence before, this novel is mentioned.
Okay, we go back to paragraph 2 and 17. That particular work. And yeah, the example maybe 17th Summer, novel published in 1942, explored first love and adolescent rites of passage. Yes, so it's referring to that particular work as in 17th Summer. Correct. Really good thinking. Rodrigo, question 4.
Yes, I think that I find chaotic as a synonym of the word it's asking.
Okay, so you're saying unruly as chaotic. Okay, unruly, entire doesn't have any relationship. Artistic doesn't make sense with the context, and progressive doesn't, like, it sort of makes sense, but it's not the correct synonym. So you're completely right. Chaotic is the correct answer for this one. Perfect. Thank you very much, Rodrigo. All right, who wants to do question number 5? Lucia.
B.
Okay, why? Explain us your.
Can we go to the paragraph, please?
Okay, paragraph 3, right?
Yeah, because in the paragraph mentions about that they are start with contemporary on the contemporary society and its treatment to dominant darkened. Yeah, I because it was an inference, you cannot find in a directly way. So I with this keyword of contemporary, I don't know if it's good, but also at the same time I have the concern if it could be possible with D also, and I was with this two.
So you're going between B and D, right?
Yeah.
Okay, they were able to write more honestly because young adults desired novels that address contemporary issues. Okay. And the characters of popular young adult novels grew more troubled. But actually, if we go back to the third paragraph, it mentions that they offer mature and realistic looks at troubled adolescents. Michael Cart, an expert in young literature, this is actually the key part of the paragraph. Note that the focus on culture and serious theme in these two novels, among others, made it more acceptable for the next generation of young adults. So it says that it was made more acceptable because of these two novels. So yeah, basically it's here. These two novels made it more acceptable. So that's why actually option C is our correct answer. Because a string of more realistic novels paved the way for authors to write more honestly.
Okay.
So you have to be really careful with that context as well, because yeah, you're making good points. They do mention that, for example, they start talking about more contemporary issues and the troubled nature of the characters within the novel, but actually to write about these topics more is because of those two precedents, basically. So yeah, no, it was a really tricky one. So yeah, no, thank you very much, Lucy. Jasmine, you have question number 6.
Okay, teacher. I think it is letter C
Letter C?
because in the paragraph, yes, in the paragraph 2, mentioned that novel talks about the romance. I think, wait. Okay, 17 Summer by Maureen Delia, novel published that explores first love and adolescent rise of passion. Also in the paragraph 3, mention the rebellion against leadership and physical moderation.
Yep.
In the last lines.
Last 2 sentences, right?
Yes.
Perfect, perfect. Yes, they do discuss all those three subjects, and they discuss cultural trends, but they don't discuss the origin of them. So that's why this is our correct answer, because even though they talk about cultural trends, they don't necessarily talk about the origins. So yeah, it's a really, really good answer. Thank you very much. Right, question number 7. Karen.
Okay, teacher, I think it's letter D.
The D?
Yes.
D as in dedo?
Sorry?
D or B?
D.
Okay.
The last
So
one.
which one? Why? Explain us a bit more. Oh, you're muted, Karen.
Okay, teacher, because it's the paragraph talks about the transition that the young novels have in the time, and the adding of the teen social drama and horror, style horror and fiction. And it's
Yeah, this is one that actually summarizes better the essential information. So actually, option D is the correct answer. Thank you very much. Right, question 8. Who wants to do it? We have Gloria and the Uribe brothers. Who wants to go first?
The question says, I think that is letter C.
Gloria, sorry, I couldn't hear you. My internet is not doing too great for some reason. Which option did you choose?
I think the answer is letter C.
C. Why?
C. Yeah.
Why?
And because in paragraph 5 says that mission that young literature has difficult themes and it keeps readers and deal with the reading also.
Yeah, correct. It's option C. Option C is the one that actually mentions what Michael Card was talking about. Thank you very much. All right, Andres and David. Who wants to go first? Andres, David?
Sure. Me, Andres. Maybe it could be C. It could be that
Why?
is a C. Let me read it for you. Give me one second. Because for me it makes sense. Well, go up to the okay. And it says it could be in its formative years, the journey more often did the former, working with the relatively light subject matter.
Yep.
The earliest example maybe
Yeah, no, it's
17 summer. It's not.
Yep, it's perfect. Perfect. This is the only place where it makes sense because it mentions something that was mentioned on the previous sentence. So it's great. Thank you very much, Andres. And David, your turn for number 10. Don't forget that in this one you have to choose 3 options.
Okay. I think that maybe could be I don't know, maybe E. No,
B?
maybe B. Yeah, B.
Okay, B. That's good. B is
Yes.
correct.
Just a second. Maybe E.
Did you say? I cannot hear it too well.
I'm sorry. It was because the connection. I'm not in a great place. So I said maybe D. D.
E, controversial subject inhibited the growth of the general and led to a full during which authors avoided sensitive topics. Not necessarily. It's
not
a
a
bit
main topic?
of a stretch. So B is
Okay.
good, but D is not it. What was your other guess?
A.
A?
Yeah.
Close to those found in more mature literature, diverging for simpler messages. Yes, but this is actually this is a detail that they mentioned, so it's not a main idea. It is mentioned in the text, but it's not a main idea.
Oh. Okay. Then F.
Type of setting a young adult novel can greatly affect which message it's able to convey to its readers. Yeah, it like it is mentioned as well, but it's not a main
It's
topic.
not like a main topic. Okay. Then
Yep, so
C.
yep.
And I mean the ones are not set.
Yep, C and E, basically those are the only ones left. So yeah, those are the main topics basically discussed in the reading. Common motives connect various forms of youth fiction, with examples helping to guide readers through the transition to adulthood. I think paragraph 2 was about this. Paragraph 2 and 3, and more recent novels span both the unreal and real, although unifying themes can be found in either case. So this one actually has quite a lot to do with option D, which was, but this one actually sums what the last paragraph was about when they start talking about like Twilight and those kind of works. Okay, thank you very much. So while I ask about your opinion regarding how was today's work, I'm going to be launching the poll for today. So what did you think of today's reading practice? What are your opinions? What did you think of the topic? All right. No opinions, nothing. We're a bit shy today. So if you have any questions, perhaps then, or something that you want clarified regarding how the reading section takes place.
Teacher, I have a question about the last type of question in the reading. We have three, the questions have a point 2, right? If we only do 2 of 3, the punctuation, it's ponderate?
Yes, so basically, it counts as double the points. So they do ponder. So if you get 2 out of 3 right, they're probably going to give you like minus half a point, I reckon. I'm not entirely sure how the system does it, but yeah, no, they're going to ponderate that as well.
Okay, teacher, thank you.
Okay. All right. So
Teacher,
yeah,
sorry. So today is the last class for reading. So
yes.
the next week we're going to. Okay.
Yes, and today we're finishing the reading section. Basically, we've gone through all of the possible questions that we have. We saw 3 different passages, similar to the ones you're going to find in the TOEFL exam. And what I'm going to try to do, because I'm still preparing them, because it's quite hard to just basically put in the same format. I'm still preparing like another 2 or 3 different readings that I'm going to be sending you over the weekend, so you can practice in your free time. Those ones I'm going to send you like the text, the questions, and in the last page is going to be the answers, so you can compare it. Of course, you can look at them, but I suggest you don't. You just basically solve it as if you didn't have the answers, and that way we can just keep practicing. And there's a lot of reading passages to practice on in the internet. If you have any questions about them, just send me a text. Next week we're going to be working with listening, which is the other like the first 2 questions. So yeah, with this we'll be closing our reading section for this week. So yeah, as you saw, sometimes questions are tricky, and they're always going to be tricky. So you have to be really, really careful of certain words that can change the meaning of things, or certain details that basically can take the emphasis out of the main points. So that's the main thing. Just practice, try to read as many passages as you can, try to answer as many as you can. I'm going to send you another 3 so you can practice. And if you can, just look for them on the internet, okay? Any other questions or concerns or anything that you want to ask? Okay, cool. If we don't have any other questions, then that'll be all for today's session. Thank you very much for joining us, and have a great weekend. See you on Tuesday.
Thank you, teacher. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, teacher.
Have a good weekend.
Teacher,
Bye,
bye guys.
teacher.